What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy, and it's really no surprise that after the abysmal outing of The Church on Ruby Road, which was hailed by critics and everything like that as being a fantastic outing. I mean, look just here on Rotten Tomatoes, sitting at a 100% rating by by critics and 32% rating by audiences, something that doesn't happen really within Doctor Who. Before Jodie Whittaker's era, you were looking at 70% across audience scores on average. It was always something awesome. You take a look here at the actual overnight viewership. It came in at a 4.73 million viewers, and the reason why you have to focus in on the actual overnight viewership, as I have stated in past videos before, the consolidated viewership didn't come out at all until roughly a week prior to when it was supposed to come out. It took them actually a week and a day. It took them a week and a day to actually get us all those proper numbers. So you can't truly trust those numbers. Those numbers aren't valid. Those numbers aren't allowed to be discussed because they didn't come out on time. It shows that they were bumping those numbers. So when you have to solely look at the overnight numbers, those numbers being 4.73, no real better than any of the other overnight viewership for the actual 60th anniversary special. A 60th anniversary special that was filled with identity politics, social justice, things across that nature were also bleak and boring all at the same time, with the first of the three 60th specials actually berating a longtime fan favorite character, David Tennant's iteration of the Doctor. And yes, I know it wasn't truly David Tennant's iteration of the Doctor. It was a new Doctor altogether, but they still berated him, saying that he was a male presenting Time Lord and he wouldn't understand any of the female social justice ways and how to actually do anything. Also, by the way, they destroyed a priceless story in the wake of Dr. Donna, outright destroying it and say, well, if he was a woman, he would understand, completely diminishing the fact that he was just a woman. I'm not gonna lie, he literally was just a woman. But there's that. You also have Millie Gibson coming out, then promising the next season of Doctor Who will be more focusing on trying to attract the Gen Z crowd and will feature many controversial elements, good controversial elements by her standards. That's right. They said that. You also had the new Doctor himself, Ncuti Gatwa, come out and say that the new season will have an episode solely focused on his new race, the fact that he's the first Black Doctor, and also have an episode focused solely on his very leftist liberal bubble. His own words, by the way. Those aren't my words. Those are his own words. And when you think of all that, when you realize what's all going on here, and you see that, hey, they're putting out a novelization of The Church on Ruby Road, the Christmas special. They're having a novelization version of it coming out. It's no real shocker that they hired an anti-white activist to actually pin the novelization. BBC hires anti-white activist Esme Jikime. I'm probably butchering that last name and probably just did an racism by her standards, but we'll get into all those standards. Person to write Doctor Who novelization. And yes, it is as bad as it sounds. All this reporting actually comes from the Price of Reason, this particular YouTuber. He did a huge breakdown of it. Go check his video out and everything like that. But in his video, he found things like on her actual website, and you come over here. Oh, well, yeah, we'll get into all this, but we come over to her actual website, Price of Reason for Sites, Jikime Person's official website, where she describes herself as an author of Nigerian, Jamaican, and British Australian heritage. Her work primarily focuses on people who live at the intersection of identities, whether that's her here on Earth or in faraway galaxies of her own creation. Oh, yeah, and by the way, don't just take a Price of Rice's version of all this. I actually have her website pulled up. That's right, it says it right here. Here she is. She's only put out one book, by the way, a single book, and we'll get further into who this particular lady is. As an author of Nigerian, Jamaican, and British Australian heritage, her work primarily focuses on people who live in the intersection of identity, whether that's on Earth or in the faraway galaxies of her own creation. That's right. So she outright, but you have to also take in that last actual quote from her own thing. galaxies of her own creation. So she outright writes in racism into her own books. A galaxy that she herself created, a galaxy in a world that she herself made up. She writes in racism. She writes it in to make her characters victims, to make her identities, her characters filled with identity politics. Her ideas are filled with identity politics. And it becomes no shocker that, as we scroll down. From there, Price of Reason cites Jamiki Person's agent's description of her and her work. And you come over to this one where again we have her agent, and you scroll down here. Here's a nice little thing about her and everything, but we come here. Winner of the inaugural I'm gonna butcher this because it's British, Glol and Kaz, I probably butchered that, and River of London BAME FFF, I don't know, this is all British stuff, award in 2020, now known as the Future World Prize. Her writing is inevitably about Black people dismantling space empires, traveling through time, and saving the world, often simultaneously. Esmai's debut novel, The Principle of Moments, releasing in January 2024, is a love letter to Black readers of science fantasy and a symphonic, centuries-spanning adventure, unmissable for fans of the spacefaring found family of Becky Chambers, the alternate London of V.E. Schwab, and virtuosic, I'm butchering that, climate-craft of N.K. Jemisin. I don't even know who all these people are. And yeah, she is doing the novelization of Church on Ruby Rose. Remember this, they are also pointing out the simple fact that, one, she is a brand new author that is putting out her first debut novel in January 2024. When you actually come back over here to the actual book itself, the Church on Ruby Road's novelization released in 2024. January 2024. Come back over here to her first book, January 2024. So not only is she, a Blacktivist, on top of that, she also is an inadequate writer. Her only credentials is one book that hasn't even been released. But hey, you might be sitting there, well, why the heck did they hire her in the first place? Why the heck did they do anything with her in the first place? Remember what they said here. Remember what Shuri Gatwa even said. Very leftist liberal bubble. This is a continuation of identity politics all throughout every aspect of the BBC and Doctor Who. I know they're going to go on to, in this particular article, they go on to try to blame Disney, but it's not really Disney here. This is solely Doctor Who. This is solely the BBC, and this is solely RTD. I can't put this at the feet of freaking Disney, because this is 100% a BBC and Doctor Who issue. You scroll down here. Her agent also highlights that she co-founded it actually says co-founder of the organization Impact Omission, as featured in The Guardian, HuffPost, and the Channel 4 documentary Where's My History, with footballer and anti-racism campaigner Troy Deeney. And when you actually go over to the Impact of Omission's website and you scroll in right here, because the first paragraph shows it, and it also tells you just how inadequate this person is. We are Impact of Omission, an organization run by 2 uni students. By the way, that means 2 college students, that aims to make education on Britain's imperial past part of the compulsory national curriculum. That means forcibly making kids learn about CRT, by the way. For too long, the UK has gone uneducated on its history as an empire, and this ignorance has allowed racist structures of power to not only endure, but flourish. With your help, we aim to change this through collective action, such as petitions, providing letter scripts, and the original survey that clearly proved to us the deception. I'm going to butcher this one. discrepancies in teaching, as it saw 86.2% of our 56,000 plus respondents educated in depth on Henry. I think this is Henry VIII. I'm not very adequate with Roman numerals that well, but only 9.3 educated on the role of slavery in British industrialization. Oh, that's right, guys. That's right. We need to be focused on the actual blacktivism within the UK. We need to be focusing on the actual racism, the CRT. All students must be taught all the proper racist outcomes within the UK. Again, this is an author that is set to actually write the novelization of the Christmas special. A blacktivist, an anti-white racist, an omitted anti-white blacktivist, and an anti-white racist. Because before you guys continue on, we got some more things to go over, because this is gold. You then come to their about page, and you got some all sorts of things, but we'll just read their about page, because I think their about page is the best thing about this. In 2013, as part of Michael Gove's education reforms, the compulsory part of the curriculum that said children in the UK must study the British history of colonialization and slavery was revoked. Instead, it is one of the many non-compulsory models that can be taught, and if the teacher feels they are appropriate for that specific class. Oh, wait, what? So it's up to the teacher's discretionary. Okay, well, there's that. According to Gove, schools shouldn't teach content fueled by post-colonial guilt. I actually kind of agree. Listen, you did stuff. We effed up. You know what? We screwed up in the past, but the past is the past. You learn from the past and you move on. We shouldn't be teaching our kids about guilt and feeling guilty for our past. It's, hey, we effed up. Now we're trying to move on and make the world better. That's what it is. But hey, no, this particular activist, this particular chick right here, as my Jikamimea person, it literally says person right there. I'm not joking. I can't even read her last name because I'm stupid, but it is what it is a student still. She is still in university, but hey, there's that. But yeah, scroll up here, because she really highlights how awful she is, along with her woke white women's other co-founder. I just gotta say, but scroll down here. However, this means the cultural parts of our nation's history are left out, and therefore the children of today will not get a comprehensive schooling. For example, we may be taught about British industrialization, but not the role the slavery played in underpinning the entire revolution. Quick fun fact. I'm part Irish. I'm also part German and Scottish. I don't really think you really want to start digging into the actual slavery that was done during the British industrialization. I mean, there was a huge thing going on that certain children of a certain group of people were usually the slaves, Irish people, just to be on the safe side here. Just telling you that. But trust me, this keeps getting better, because you come right here. This is her own way of saying how the slavery and the racisms of the UK should be seen by comparison. In Germany, children are taught the atrocities of the Holocaust, not to be made to feel guilty, but to be aware of the horrors of the past in order to build a better future. Wait, but I thought that's exactly what the guy said. Instead of teaching a guilty-based system, we're going to be teaching them, hey, this happened, and we're going to move on from that. We're not be aware of not feel guilty, but be aware of what happened. That's what the guy actually said. That's his own words. But no, that doesn't go far enough in her opinion. By the way, she's also inciting that slavery is akin to the Holocaust. British colonialism and the industrialization of British is akin to the Holocaust. I want that to sink in for you. This is what this lady believes. This is what this lady thinks. And trust me, guys, we got tweets to even prove it. Racism is just as institutional and systematic here in the UK as it is in the US. The problem is, here we are taught about it. We aren't taught about it. It's not. I mean, you guys had slavery long for a little bit shorter actually than America, but that's a whole little thing. That's actually an argument a lot of CRT people do give out over here in the West. Oh, well, not over here in the West, but over here in America. Sorry, I'm still on my localization issues and stuff like that. But that's a huge thing that they say here in America, but they don't say it over there. Why? Because racism acts differently over in the UK. All this is 100% American frameworks right here. This is CRT frameworks. This doesn't impact British culture the same way. Not British culture is 10 times as woke as American culture, but it's still in different aspects, in different ways. But yet these are anti-white people. These are CRT people. These are the people Doctor Who's tapping to go off and write their novelization. And trust me, it's just beautiful and wonderful to know that this lady here, Esme, this Bent here is the one that's going to be writing this novelization. This CRT infused anti-white racist is the one doing it, of the blacktivists. By educating the youngest generations on topics such as colonialism, we give them a fuller view of British history and the resources to build their own opinions. This is the education system that is responsible for teaching our prime ministers, our MPs, policemen, and countless other positions of power. That's why they're doing it. That's why they want to do this. This is why they teach CRT a bunch of these children. This is why they want to push it, because they know, hey, one day these people are going to be in positions of power and they're going to agree with us and they're going to give us everything we ever wanted and they're going to incite it in the reverse. But I told you, there's more evidence to show you on how awful this human being is, how horrendous this human is on many levels. And you know, you just got to scroll down to her own tweets. So thank you, That Park Place, for screenshotting these tweets. And also thank you to, what was his name again? Price of Reason, I believe it was. Give me a moment. The freaking mouse is acting up. Price of Reason. Yes, Price of Reason for all this, because you scroll down through her tweets. This comes in from November of 2023. Literally November 2023. Am I crazy, or is every single one of the Goodreads Choice Fantasy finalists a white author? If so, this confirms my hunch. A palpable shift away from reading diverse fantasy, likely as a reactionary response to the championing of BIPOC stories the last few years. Oh no, LOL. Oh, don't you just love that? Don't you just love how she does it? She goes on. This is actually from another post where she took to it all, because guys, this is just beautiful and wonderful. And another post she wrote, book talk faves are also overwhelmingly white and het. This informs what books are seen as profitable / low risk. And to be honest, hot take incoming. I think if you only read what's trending and what that's her own bad. No effort to seek out and shout about diverse quality literature, then you're part of the problem. Notice me. If you're not noticing us, if you're not noticing me, because remember, she's also an author. She's also a person putting out a book, by the way, that came out in January. If you're not noticing her, if you're not acknowledging her, you're part of the problem. Narcissism at its finest. Entitlement at its finest. Again, this is the woman that is tapped to write the novelization of Church on Ruby Road. But hey, guys, it keeps getting better. In October 2023, she wrote, white people will really come into your replies on posts that isn't about them or for them and start writing diary entries. Leave me alone. God, this woman is vile. And on top of that, you guys do that. No, legitimately, they'll do that. You put out an innocuous post, you put out a troll post here or there, they'll write diary messages and tell you how awful you are. So you're not special, honey. Welcome to the internet. Get used to it. Price of Reason would later comment, given the amount of influence that both Russell T Davies and Disney have on over the Doctor Who franchise these days, it's entirely possible and likely that they had even signed off on this endorsement as well. He added, but what seems especially absurd to me is considering that the citizens of the UK basically pay for the BBC entire existence, the very citizens and country that Esme doesn't seem to be a fan of, that the BBC has seemingly embraced Esme in such a big way. And that's the biggest part of this. I know this article later goes on to try to say that this is all Disney's fault. No, this is BBC 110%. That's the biggest part of this. The BBC citizenry is paying for this. Not only is RTD a part of this, not only is Doctor Who pushing this, not only is all this stuff more in line with the current era of the BBC, Doctor Who, Disney, all these people, a lot of people want to blame it on Disney, but it's not Disney. This is 100% BBC Doctor Who agenda at its finest. Not only are they signing off on all this, the citizenry of the UK is paying for it. Y'all get to pay for it. You all get to pay for all this stuff, for this woman's activism, and to constantly push CRT further and further and further into Doctor Who, and to make it more and more and more about social justice, identity politics, and woke agendas. But hey, it's not me that's making this up. This is her own words. This is all that it is. And this is just a continuation and a continuing to tell you why fans have left Doctor Who. Fans aren't interested in Doctor Who, and all you have left is a loud minority of people that don't understand that nobody cares anymore, and it's all gone. All the goodwill you could have had is gone. And I'm going to sit here and laugh because come May, the new season comes out and it's going to be glorious. But hey, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.